Jaimee Dorris, and you're watching Ms Congeniality TV. Have you always wanted to be a beauty queen? Or maybe you've been in pageantry for a while and want to sharpen your skills. Or maybe you couldn't care less about a crown and just simply want to be your very best. Regardless of why you're here, welcome. I'm excited to share this season of TV shows because it goes back to the very foundation of Ms Congeniality TV, pageantry. In my early 30s, I discovered the beauty pageant world and it changed me for the better. I learned about spray tans, gowns, lash extensions. I had a really good time, y'all. But 2020 was a year of even more transformation. I became Mrs. Mississippi American and dived even deeper into the pageant world as I prepared to compete for a national title. This season of shows is the compilation of all that I've learned in the last few years. My team and I traveled across the American Southeast to bring you the queens, the coaches, and other pageant professionals that I've met along the way and who've helped shape this experience. They are the seasoned professionals with decades of expertise to share. Over the next 13 episodes, we will go over diet tips and exercise routines. We'll get up close and personal with the Beauty Queen Beauty Services and learn the hair and makeup tricks that will set you apart. We'll go inside the Queen's closet to discover the royalty wardrobe secrets, as well as the interesting little must-have products no one ever tells you about. To look like a beauty queen, you must act like a beauty queen. We dive into the dirty details of platforms, special appearances, and how to walk like a queen. We'll also learn about headshots, social media posting, and all things photo before ending the season with the most important aspect of pageantry topics, the interview. This season of TV shows is power-packed. It has all of the information you will need to get you started on your journey, as well as a few funny stories to remind yourself not to take it all too seriously. But whether you want to be a beauty queen or simply want to look like one, you've come to the right place. Beauty pageants. People either love them or hate them. Let's start this season by meeting our expert queens and hearing what they think. The good, the bad, and the pure outrageousness of pageantry.
Hello, I'm Pamela Nail. I'm a former Miss Louisiana USA, a former Mrs. America, and former Mrs. World.
Hi, I'm Becky Minger. I'm Miss Ohio 2010, and I'm the owner of Becky Minger Consulting, where I focus on both personal development coaching as well as hair and makeup styling.
Well, my current title is Elite Mrs. Queen of the World.
Elite Mrs. Queen of the World.
You know, it's something I've always told my kids, but they didn't believe me until now. Now that I have the sash and the crown and the title, it's official. I'm Queen of the World.
I'm Elizabeth Peace, Mrs. California America 2021.
I'm Whitney Gladden. I was Mrs. Mississippi United States 2018 and Mrs. Mississippi America 2020.
My name is Cassie Perkins. I was the very first Miss for America. Before that, I was Miss Tennessee for America. I've also competed in the international system as Miss Tennessee International, and I have won lots of local pageants as well. So cheers to a great conversation about pageantry.
All right. What is the point of a beauty queen, and is it even relevant today?
You know, I think we question the relevancy of pageants. It's always kind of been a question, and even more so now. And I think the number one thing to think about is pageants are a personal development opportunity. I think it's an accelerated personal development opportunity. Women are really forced to look inward. I say if you're doing it right, so if you're really using this as a development opportunity, you get to look inward, you get to challenge yourself, push yourself past your boundaries, and really discover what makes you tick, who you are, what you're passionate about. So I think it's definitely relevant, and I think what a beauty queen is today, you know, I think it's a woman that's constantly on the search for her best self.
When you say beauty queen, right, then my very first thought is I go straight to, well, first she's got to be beautiful. And then I start thinking she's got to be tall and she's got to be lean. You know what I mean?
You know, this tall, thin, lean, young woman, maybe even blonde.
I had the perception that pageant people are, I hate to say it, maybe slightly vapid, concerned about outward appearances. all of those things.
People think that it's just about a crown and a sash, and maybe even a bit self-involved. But I really don't think that that's what pageantry is. And I think that the hundreds of women that I've met in this industry would agree with me that it's about so much more than that. It's about giving back to your community, empowering women, making a difference in the world, making tons of connections, and just bettering yourself as an individual.
So what got you started in pageantry?
It was watching a friend compete. I mean, initially I just had this idea. I was working as a journalist and I had heard about a Mrs. Pageant and I just thought, why are married women competing in pageants? And I really thought it was kind of ridiculous. And then I started interviewing some of the ladies and I got to know them and I just saw how much they were giving back to their communities. But really the big turning point for me was the 2014 Mrs. America pageant, because that was the year that Kaylee Sparling was competing with a platform of child sexual abuse prevention, which really hit home for me because it was something our family had experienced. So watching her and Austin Williams, whose platform was human trafficking, I just thought, wow, these are really impressive married women doing amazing things with this platform and this microphone of a Mrs. Pageant. And then I competed in 2016 and have competed since.
When you step into that world and meet those women face to face, you realize how inspiring they are, how powerful they are, how passionate they are about their own causes, and how much they have to say and what they have to bring to the table. It is so incredibly impressive to be around women in the pageant world.
Next, we tackle another pageantry stereotype: age.
Ms California American is 50 and she looks better than me in swim.
And then on 3, we're going to lead with the lead foot, walk with the lead foot. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
So if pageantry is a self-development tool, is it available to everyone? Elite Mrs. Queen of the World 2021, Katrina Spagnoletti, proves it is. She was not only the first African-American woman to win a crown on the Mrs. Florida America stage, she was also the oldest. I got chills right now. How old did you say you are?
I'm 57 years old. And a lot of people like to say 57 years young. I'm going to claim it. I am 57 years old. I just turned 57 in June. And I was actually crowned at 56 years old. And as you know, we go up against women in their 20s, 30s. Wow. So, yeah.
Why should older women do pageantry? Is it just for young girls?
I don't think it's, of course it's not just for young girls, honey. Don't limit us. No, I think older women should, because I do feel that we've given so much, throughout the years with our children, our husbands, our family, that it's our time. It's our time now. It's our time to celebrate. And we lose so much as we get older because we've given so much away. And I think this is something that'll recapture everything that we had when we were in our 20s. We're not saying we want to be 20, because I wouldn't want to be 20 to save my life. But what I'm saying is I want to feel that again. I want to feel on the inside that I'm beautiful, that I'm appreciated, and not because, Mom, where's my sock? I want to be appreciated like when I go out. So many people get excited to see me wear a crown and a sash. So many people are like, oh my goodness, you're this, you're a queen. And it excites people. And that sparks a new flame inside of me. It makes you feel young and youthful again, no matter what.
I know that there are a lot of women who are very uncomfortable or nervous about the idea that, hey, I'm 40, I'm 41, but maybe they're 40 and they're competing against another married woman who's 23. And they will say to me, I can never compete with that. You know what the 23-year-old is thinking?
I can't compete with her.
I can't compete with the 40-year-old because of their life experience, their ability to answer the questions, their ability to lean on their experience when they're talking to the judges about what they've done and what they will do. So you have got this whole gamut of things. It's like, I can't compete with a 23-year-old. I can't compete with a 40-year-old. Well, guess what? Mrs. California American is 50. And she looked better than me in swim. So
what about for older ladies? Is pageantry a young lady sport?
No, absolutely not. As women, like I said before, we are so multifaceted. And as we continue to grow and mature, we're still learning. You never stop learning, and you should never stop learning about yourself. I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. I live by that very much. And as mature women, I feel like we get very empty because we are constantly giving to other people and the other people in our lives. You've got to pour into yourself. And I think pageants are such a beautiful way to do that because you're truly learning about yourself. You're forced to focus on yourself. You can't compete and be focusing on other people because it is about you.
Who should not compete in a beauty pageant?
I have definitely met women that I want to, and have, if they're close enough friends, have told them, please do not ever compete again. Please stop competing. Those who need to not compete are the ones who are doing it because they feel like the pageant is the only way they can validate their worth or make themselves feel beautiful. Pageant will do the opposite, by the way. Like, a pageant will make you really face all your inner demons and all your struggles and make you grow to be better. That's what a pageant will do. If you're competing because you're like, I'm more beautiful than everyone else, well, guess what? There's always somebody more beautiful, always. And so if you walk into that pageant thinking a pageant's going to make you feel beautiful, you might be in for some really hard surprises. So if a pageant makes you stop eating, don't do it. There's a difference between working out and getting ready for swimsuit and developing an eating disorder over a pageant. Don't do it. So, and then, you know, if a pageant makes you financially in a very difficult position and you can't get sponsors, don't do it. It's not worth it. Pageants are a very expensive sport. So either get very comfortable at getting sponsorships, but do not mortgage your house ever. That's who I think should not compete in pageants.
Do you know somebody who's mortgaged their house for a pageant?
I do. Yeah. It's not worth it.
After the break,
You can either be beautiful, try to be beautiful, or don't.
You can be shallow without wearing makeup.
you won't want to miss this. What was your greatest challenge when you did start pageantry? What was the hardest thing for you?
Money.
Really?
I think money, yeah, because I didn't really have any. So what I did was, instead of just saying, well, I don't have any money, I went and got sponsors. And I said, I will model for you if in return you will sponsor me and buy an ad or help me get my dress or do whatever. And that's how I did that. I got everything donated or given to me by just asking.
I think probably the hardest part about pageantry for me personally is the appearances. Isn't that funny? I love being around people. I love being in front of people, but the preparation you have to do to appear as a queen is very time consuming and not something I'm used to doing. When I go get my kids or when I go to the grocery store, I'm putting on Lululemon track pants, a tank top, and a ponytail.
Yeah.
But if you're going to an appearance, it is an hour and a half of fake lashes and big hair and full makeup. And, you know, I had to learn to do makeup. I'm 40 years and I had not learned to do makeup. So this was a significant learning curve to be able to prepare myself to appear as a queen.
I think at the beginning, it was letting my guard down and being vulnerable and really taking a good, hard look at myself. I think that can sometimes be the scariest and hardest part, is taking that time to sit down and take a good, hard look at yourself. Be honest with yourself. And you can't really break through to the next level of yourself and your life until you do that. And that's, I think, the hard part that a lot of people are scared of. And we avoid in pageant prep. It's like, it's so much easier to say, well, what should I say? Or what should I wear? Or whatever. You got to sit down and take that hard look at yourself. And I think that was the hardest part, is coming face to face with you.
So then tell me, what was the easiest part of pageantry?
Swimsuit. It was the easiest part. You know, I love health and fitness. I love the process of getting ready to appear in that condition. I marry the process, I divorce the outcome. So whatever I look like up there is what it is, as long as I know that I've done the proper preparation up to that point. I'm excited to get out on the stage. I'm excited to, you know, be up there saying, you know, this is God's creation and this is how I was able to refine it.
Yeah.
And I absolutely enjoy that part of it.
So tell me, is it shallow then to want to be beautiful?
My family was not a fan of this at all, the whole beauty pageant thing. They didn't mind it when I was a TV news anchor and I had to also focus on visual image, right? Because that's also a thing when you're on TV, and we know that. but they did not like the beauty pageant idea until they actually saw me compete. They saw how much work it was and how much we put into our communities and our platform. But yeah, the beauty side, yes, we want to be beautiful. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that it's just as long as you're doing your version of beautiful.
I think that beauty can look like a bunch of different things, and I don't think it's shallow at all to want to feel confident when you look in the mirror, to want to feel empowered by the way that you look and by what you've been able to accomplish in your own skin. You know, for me, I competed in the Miss Tennessee pageant whenever I was 26. I was deep into my career, and I was an accountant working at an accounting firm, and hadn't focused on much of anything other than doing tax returns. And so it was a motivation for me to go to the gym, to focus on my body, to focus on health and fitness, and to focus on myself for kind of the first time since I had finished graduate school. So no, I don't think it's vain to want to invest in yourself.
Well, this is my personal opinion, because a lot of women, and I've seen it before, I've seen it on social media, especially women my age, it's like they'll say, okay, I'm okay with not waking up in the morning and putting on makeup. It's just too much work. I guess I'm like an artist. I love creating on this canvas. I love to see and experiment with different, shades. I love to see something that I can accomplish, especially my age. A lot of women my age, they do stay away from cosmetics because they just don't know how to use them. I educate myself just like anybody else on YouTube. I might look on Instagram, social media, and because I really want to know. I mean, my husband loves me looking like this. He thinks I'm beautiful without makeup, but he thinks I'm like really put together with makeup. So I think it's a great thing.
So it's not shallow at all?
No, it's not shallow at all. You can be shallow without wearing makeup.
No, I do not. You know what the option is? Don't be beautiful. You can either be beautiful, try to be beautiful, or don't. Don't worry about exercising. Just don't do it. It's much more fun if you do. You'll probably live a lot longer. You'll feel a lot better. If you take really good care of yourself, I call it maintenance, you feel a lot better about yourself. And it's a true proven fact that when you feel better, if you take that extra 15 minutes before you walk out the door, look at the back of your hair, make sure there's not something sticking up. I mean, feel complete in what you're wearing. Make sure that you took the extra time to get up and do your makeup and your hair. And then when you go for that job interview or whatever you're doing, you'll feel 10 times better than not knowing, just getting out of bed and not caring. I tell women in my class to get off the frumpy outfits and put on something that's pretty, and it'll make you feel better and make you want to work out harder. It's just a proven fact.
And finally, we answer the most important question of all. What does it really take to win?
So much work. So one of my biggest tips is to start with your eyes.
Stylist and pageant coach Becky Minger has experience both on and off the stage. Her number one tip for anyone who really wants to be a beauty queen?
Developing her confidence, for sure. That's the most important thing, because like we just talked about, you've got to invest in yourself. But when you invest in yourself, you become more confident. And that's what wins.
It's not the girl that stands in the front of the room. It's not the girl that pushes the other girls out of the way to get your attention. It's not the girl that looks you down the whole time, stares you down when you're looking at them, and then turns around and then stares you down a little bit more before she leaves to let you know, pick me, pick me, pick me. That's not what they want. They want you could be in the very back. It doesn't matter. But if you glow from outside, from inside out, it's just a natural aura of beauty around you that they'll pick up on.
I think figuring out why she wants to do it. So why do you want to enter into pageantry? What do you expect to get out of this experience? Are you doing it for fun? Are you doing it because you just want the experience of feeling beautiful? Do you have a mission, a platform, a statement that you really want to get behind? Do you want to do it because you're a mom and you have 2 kids and you want the spotlight to be on you? Do you want scholarship money for it? There's so many reasons why women compete in pageantry. So I think figuring out why you're there is the most important first step for how to really utilize the rest of the time that you spend in your preparation.
So what does it really take to win?
So much work.
So
so much work. It takes so much more work than I think we see on TV, but that's not, you know, it's a business, and that's not what always sells on TV is the hard work behind it. I think, again, just challenging yourself, forcing yourself to become the best version of yourself. And that's not just going to the gym. Yes, that's really hard. Finding that motivation and all of that. And, you know, going through physical changes, going through mental changes. My philosophy is truly, I always say, embrace, envision, evolve, and elevate. You have to embrace who you are first. You have to come face to face with yourself. You have to envision where you want to go, who you want to be. Then you have to do the work. You have to actually evolve. You can't just say those things and then not back it up. And that's when you elevate. That's when you get to the next level. And so that's really what it takes. It's a lot. It's all encompassing. Like, there's a lot. It's not just the fun gown and wardrobe and beauty part.
It's actually what's in the inside.
Yeah.
That shows on the outside.
Yeah. And
it sounds so cliche.
Yes, but you can't, you know, as I'm working with people, I always say, you know, if you want to pick your gowns and all that stuff first, that we're going in the wrong order. Because if I don't know you, if you don't know you, if you don't know what you're wanting to say to the judges, the outer stuff, it doesn't match. It has to match with who you are. And so you've got to know who you are first. So all the fun stuff comes after you do the hard work.
Well, like so many things in life, there isn't just one thing to do. Being a beauty queen requires a mixture of so many things done simultaneously. But don't worry, we will bring them all to you one topic at a time here on Ms Congeniality TV. Well, that's all the time we have left for today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Ms Congeniality TV. Remember to love yourself, be yourself, and let's make this world a more beautiful place. Until next time, I am Ms Congeniality.